and welcome back to my channel. So today, after many a video and without further ado, we finally reached the end of my Portugal trip series of fragrance hauls. So the last one are, as you can see from the title, my samples that I've picked up, and these were all free with purchase throughout the many fragrances that you saw I bought while I was away. So there's 9 to share with you. What I kind of like to do with these fragrance hauls is, and if you guys are interested, because I know you mentioned you like these kinds of things, I have so many more, not from Portugal, just in general, is after like a mini review, I tell you whether or not I think they're full bottle worthy in general for me, whether I'd buy them full price or I want to wait for a sale, all that good stuff. So we're just gonna jump right into it. If you haven't subscribed already, don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to follow me on Instagram. All that good stuff and more is in the description box below. And let's get into it, because this is the last of this series, but you can bet there are many more hauls to come that just have nothing to do with Portugal. So if you have liked this series, let me know in the comments below, but not to worry, I have an addiction and there's more hauls to come. So we're gonna start with a pink sugar flanker, and I have not had the best luck with pink sugar flankers, but I love the original pink sugar. I absolutely love that scent, and I've had so many throughout the years. So this is Pink Sugar Sparks. I was excited to try it out because, like I said, I want to have good luck with the flankers, and I'd never seen this one, you know, like full size anywhere. So this one has raspberry tea, peach, bergamot, orchid, jasmine, freesia, rose, vanilla, coffee, patchouli, and musk. Oh, and I should mention, I'll let you know, I've tried all of these, but this is one prior to this video, but this is one I hadn't smelled before. Like, it was a blind sniff when I first got it. I'm just gonna remind myself. Yeah. So I think the curse continues with pink sugar flankers. I will say this is probably one of the better ones. It is one of the better ones that I've tried from the flankers of pink sugar, but I just don't know what it is that Aquilina has that, like, they made the original and then none of the other ones do it for me. This one, I was excited because there's that tea note, but it just, even that can't save it. I definitely do get like a fruity tea. It seriously does smell like fruit tea, which in a more authentic way than I was expecting, because if you've ever smelled like herbal fruit tea, it's tart and it's like a more, yeah, it's a very like concentrated tart scent of whatever fruit it is. And I think maybe it's the raspberry. Like, I'm not a huge fan of that note in general, but this just did not do it for me. For me personally, this is not full bottle worthy at all. It's honestly the kind of sample where I'm gonna give that sample away after this video. Like, I won't even really enjoy the sample. There's nothing like deeply wrong with it, but now that I've been down this road before with pink sugar flankers, and yet I still keep trying, but I know that if I got it, it would just kind of sit around like my other pink sugar flankers. So I just won't even tread down this road. It's a fruity tea, yeah, floral kind of scent, but it's got none of that gourmand beauty that pink sugar has. And this has got patchouli, which I'm not even a huge fan of. So it's just not for me. So I can't really recommend it. And I don't even think it's really that interesting in general. If you wanted like a fruit tea scent, I think there are better ones. So moving swiftly along, the next one is a Viva La Juicy flanker. And I, again, had not tried this one. So this is Viva La Juicy's Pink Couture, and I've not tried a bunch of their flankers because I remember the original from, again, back in the day, but yeah, I was kind of neither here nor there about it. So let's see. This has watermelon, water lily, cassis, strawberry, frangipani, jasmine, vanilla, praline, and sandalwood. Okay. I remember it is very reminiscent of a celebrity fragrance. I feel like it's giving me very strong Nicki Minaj fragrances and maybe like early Ariana Grande fragrances, like the ones that kind of came in globes. It's just been done. Like that kind of very youthful, fruity floral. Even for young girls, I feel like even they want something different now. This is a very like 2004 fruity floral. And in 2021, I'm just never really gonna be blindly, at least, you never know, but I'm just never gonna go out of my way to get another one of these scents. I feel like I still have one of my Nicki Minaj scents that I'm trying to finish. Maybe, yeah, I do. So I like this kind of fruity floral that very much smells like a body splash, and it's just super like synthetic strawberry and berries, and it's really not impressive to me. And for that reason, like I again would not get a full bottle, and I wouldn't even keep the samples. So you guys know, or maybe you don't know, I keep all of my bottles ever since my first bottle that I ever got when I was like, I don't know, 6 or something. I've kept every single bottle that I've ever bought, hence my huge collection. If I ever get like backups of a fragrance, sometimes I'll give them away because I'm like, okay, that's a backup. But even that has been very rare, and really I'm just talking about like full bottles that I've purchased for myself. I've kept every single thing. I am not that way about samples, however. My samples, if they're not interesting to me, I do little cleanups. I can film actually one of them for you guys if you want. Like I can do instead of just cleaning it up and going through it by myself, I can film it. Maybe it'd be interesting. But those two right off the bat, I know they're gonna go in the like don't need pile, and then yeah, I'm just gonna gift them. So that one is just not interesting to me personally. Third, and this one is of course not a blind sniff or blind purchase or whatever. This is Flower by Kenzo. This I was very much familiar with because when it came out in 2000, I believe, this was the first fragrance that I fell in love with. This is the first one that I got a sample like this, or maybe it was in a magazine or a sample like this. I think it was a sample like this. And because it had one of these. I remember, like I was very young, and I still can remember being immediately taken aback. Like I fell in love. I had no idea a scent could make me like that deeply fall in love before, and it was just everything I wanted. And I'm like, oh my God, like powdery scents exist. Like I was obviously very new. I was like a child, so I was absolutely obsessed with it. And I've had 2 bottles of this already. It was like as close to a signature scent that I could have. But then I just got so deeply in fragrances that I don't think I could ever have one. But I have not owned this in many years. It still is near and dear to my heart, but I haven't even smelled it in a really long time. So smelling it and having a sample has actually been really nice, because it just like brought back this scent for me that I have not smelled in, like I said, so long. And it just like brought me back to how in love I was. So Flower by Kenzo lists rose, hawthorn, blackcurrant, mandarin, parma violet, rose, apanax, jasmine, vanilla, white musk, and incense. It is a super, I think nowadays, known kind of powdery scent, but back then it was quite a big deal. Like it was it was really, really unique what Kenzo did with this. And I feel like now there's so many more powdery fragrances on the market, which I'm so pleased about. But back then this was like a real big game changer. And especially for kind of like a powdery rose, violet, musky, like, and still seductive scent. Like, I still think this is stunning. Like, I really do think it's beautiful. It's definitely full bottle worthy for me. Obviously, I had 2 bottles of this, and I dabble. Like, I definitely go back and forth with deciding whether or not I want to get another bottle just to have in my collection and wear sometimes. And I always talk myself out of it, and I don't know why, but it's the kind of scent where I'm like, I don't know, it's like so special to me that I almost don't want it back in my collection for whatever reason, because I'm afraid it'll just like sit on the side and not get as much love as it deserves. I can't explain it, but I love Flower by Kenzo. I still think personally it has stood the test of time, and it will always be like my first love. So love that, and I was happy to just randomly get a sample of that. And then 4th is actually a men's fragrance, and it's Scandal by Jean Paul Gaultier for men. And I was curious because I've had a couple Scandals, but all in the women's line. And this one lists clary sage, mandarin, vanilla, caramel, tonka, and vetiver. And I'm just gonna remind myself of this one because if I remember correctly, yes, I love this. I wasn't sure because the original Scandal is my least favorite of the women's, and this one's just called Scandal. So I was like, if it's just gonna be that kind of honeyed, just men's version, it's not gonna be for me. But oh my God, is this delicious. It is super sweet. I actually think this is, personally, I think this is very unisex. Like the vanilla caramel tonka in this, it is so sweet and beautiful. I feel like sage and mandarin, like the sage and vetiver, like give it a little bit more of like a masculine tinge, I suppose. But I think it's stunning, and I think it's really unisex. And if I were to find this on a good deal, I think it's full bottle worthy for me. There was something really like on the brink of becoming grapey, but not fully there, that I'm into. Yeah, and I like it. I really, really do like it, and I was very surprised. I was expecting to just kind of feel meh about it, and that's totally not the case. Scandal Men is better than the original Scandal Woman, in my opinion. I'm much more likely to reach for this than I am for the original Scandal. The flankers I will remove from that because the flankers I've tried are great, but yeah, like I said, I really, really did like Scandal for Men. All right, so the next one was actually one I was super unfamiliar with. It's called I'm, and it's by Ines Mocho or Mocha. Honestly, not even sure. It was not a famous brand or house by any means. I actually had to search a while. This is what it looks like. I had to search a while to even find the notes. But it lists freesia, lychee, peony, magnolia, rose, amber, cedar, vanilla, lily of the valley, and musk. It's a European house or scent that's really predominantly only sold in Europe from what I could find. And so I really was just going into it super blind. And what I will say is it's very, very similar to Chloe, the original Chloe. It smells very, very similar to it. I do own that one, so I can definitely do a comparison if you guys are interested, but this is so hard to find anyways. The only thing I will say is if you happen to come across it, I know for a fact it's very inexpensive. And so it would definitely be more inexpensive than Chloe. You've got a good dupe on your hands, but I wouldn't really go out of my way to try to find it. Yeah, it smells very similar to that. I thought it was nice. I've kind of like, I'm taking a break from my Chloe's a little bit. I go like in and out of favor with them. So to me, it wasn't very impressive, but Yeah, it's nice to try out. Will probably go in my like give out category for samples, but anyways, that's that. Then we've got Yes, I Am Glorious by Couture. I was curious to try this one out because I recently, and I'm sure you saw in one of the hauls, gotten the Yes, I Am Pink First, and it just really like made me interested in all of them, like all the Yes, I Ams, because apparently they're all kind of somewhat similar and a little bit lactonic, and this lists peach, mandarin, frangipani, tiare, magnolia, milk, sweet notes, white cedar, and sandalwood. And I really like this one. There is something about this scent, and this is so specific to me, so I'm sorry, but some of you like my anecdotes, that like transports me to swimming lessons when I was really young, and there was a girl that like was in my class or took swimming lessons at the same time. And I remember she had very fancy shampoo that I don't know what it was, obviously. But whenever we were showering, like before or after, like after swim meets and stuff, her shampoo was very fancy, and this is what it smelled like. It just scented up the entire change room, and the rest of us just had like normal whatever drugstore shampoo, and hers was just so delicious. So this just really takes me back to that. There was a really nice like tropical fruitiness to it, but it's not so tropical where it's like a super summery like paradise island kind of scent, but there's definitely like a tropical nature that I'm totally here for. I really do like it. I find like milk isn't making it, in terms of a note, isn't making it super lactonic. I wish it was more than that, but it is giving it a little bit of a creamier nature, and I really did like it. So for me personally, it is full bottle worthy. Like I said, I was never interested in the Yes, I Ams. I thought the bottles were just like probably too kitschy, and like the scents weren't gonna be a match, or that they wouldn't actually be cool, but I was judging them, and Pink First is one I really enjoy to the point where I am interested in the others. So if I were to see Yes, I Am Glorious for a good deal, I would be interested in picking that one up for sure. Then this one I was so interested in trying because I've heard like so many people wondering what it smells like, or curious about it, or just curious in general about this release this year. So this is Phantom by Paco Rabanne. I'm sure you've seen it. If you haven't, it looks like a robot, the bottle itself. It's a men's fragrance, but I've just been curious because so many other people have been curious. And this lists rose, oh no, sorry, it lists 3 lavenders. It lists it in the top, middle, and base. And then lemon zests, apple, smoke, leathery notes, patchouli, vanilla, and vetiver. And let me just find the sprayer. I will just say that I really was expecting this to be kind of a letdown, because the bottle is a little bit more, I don't know, it's very Paco Rabanne where they go like out of their way, and I just figured it wasn't really gonna be interesting and it would just kind of flop. And I was impressed. I think it's got an element of unisex to it personally. I mean, I do think a lot of things do, but I don't think this is super ultra uber masculine. There's definitely like a kind of sweetness, like a vanilla leather that I think is universal. And the apple does not bother me, so thank God for that. And I found myself liking it. I will say I would get a bottle of this because I do enjoy it, but it kind of seems like the kind of scent that, and you know, forgive me for saying this, but it does seem like the kind of scent, just because the bottle and the way the fragrance industry is, that like in a couple of years is going to be super on sale, and in TJ Maxx and Marshalls, or, you know, for us in Canada, maybe in a couple years, just like ends up on the $19.99 bottle shelf. So I would get a full bottle of this, but I'm not in a rush to get it for full price now when it's still like at the height of its launch. I think it's nice, but I think it's just gonna filter down and be something where you can find for a deal. Like how we did with, again here, but the Olympias, I think that's what they're called, by Paco Rabanne. I just think it's gonna have like a very short time on people's intrigue, personally. Maybe I'm wrong, but that's how I feel. Then we've got Fleur Musk by Narciso Rodriguez, and I was very interested in trying this one because Narciso Rodriguez is a line of fragrances where I don't think I've ever smelled a fragrance by them that I haven't liked. Like, they are all very similar, so I feel like you either like all of them or you don't like all of them. Like, if you don't like the musk note that Narciso has, then you really won't like any of them. So it is just kind of luck, but I love it. And while I don't own all of their fragrances because they are that similar, I really have liked all of them. So I was intrigued. And this one has rose, musk, peony, pink pepper, patchouli, violet, and amber. And it's definitely got the Narciso musk, so of course I liked it. Just the base level but this one definitely has peony and pink pepper as stars of this fragrance, and for that reason it is not full bottle worthy for me. Those are two notes that I'm not really down for. You guys know this if you know me, and I think they're beautifully done. If that's something you're interested in, like, this would be a good time to get a peony pink pepper fragrance. And I feel like those two scents are often put together. At least this one's like got that Narciso musk. It's very feminine. It'll probably last a very good time because they usually have really good lasting power, all of their scents. But I've got enough peony and pink pepper to last me a lifetime now. So now that I know that it leans in that direction and how it wears on my skin, personally for me, it is not full bottle worthy. That being said, I love the line, and I just love the house. And then finally, the last one is again a fragrance I tried before, Elie Saab, and this is in white. This is one that I remember when I tried in store, again, years ago. I was like, wow, I love this. This one's so much better than the Elie Saab Le Parfum. I remember liking this one more, and this has it has red berries, mandarin, bergamot, jasmine, peach, white amber, white musk, patchouli, benzoin, vanilla, and Toulouse balsam. And I do still like it. Like, having smelled it again, I'm like, maybe I wouldn't be into it, and I do still like it. There's a really cleanness to this floral, but it's sweet without being too sweet. The jasmine isn't too heady, and personally, I still do really prefer this one, like very much so, to the original, but I do have the original and I do like it, and I think this is full bottle worthy 100%. I've always seen it for close to full price or full price. Like, I've never really found it on a deal, and so I wouldn't really go out of my way to try to get it for a full price, but if I ever found this on a really good deal, I would 100% pick it up. I think it's a beautiful scent, and it's super like feminine in a classy way that both like women and men I feel like would be into. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this sample haul. You got kind of like a variety of how I feel of whether or not I would get full bottles or whether I'm just getting rid of the samples. Let me know which one of these fragrances you've tried or you'd like to try, and definitely let me know if you're interested in doing like a sample cleanup with me, because that could be something that's fun. And I'll see you next time. Bye.